Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Supposedly, and that's the key word here, China and United States are at war, not militarily yet, but supposedly or presumably they are economically at war, and the leaders make statements left and right. I'm not certain yet if this is just for us idiots oh yeah, it's for real, or it's just a game. All right. So I have an article here coming from Sputnik, where we have the Chinese foreign minister pointing out that actually in his assessment, the United States of America is the global destabilizer. Wow, wow, wow. Can you believe that? So let's see. This article comes, as I said, from Sputnik. It is from today, August 11th, 2023. China's Wang Yi warns Singapore, US biggest destabilizer factor in the world. Well, he doesn't really warn Singapore, but tells, hey, beware of the greatest country in the world. The United States has cast Beijing as a villain in Southeast Asia, presenting itself as the defender of international law and the rights of smaller nations. However, Washington's solution to the disputes is a military standoff, while China has voiced its desire for dialogue and mutually beneficial relationships. Now, this is Sputnik. Russia is very much a friend of China and vice versa, or however, partners in crime, however you want to call them. So obviously they have good words for China, bad words for the United States of America. Well, it's not really like that, but close. Speaking to Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong on Friday, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi warned that one of the city-state's biggest geopolitical partners, the United States, would be a never-ending source of chaos and instability. And I'm quoting, "The United States, out of its motive to maintain unipolar hegemony, is unwilling to see the development and revitalization of China and other emerging countries," end quote, Wang told Lee. And I continue to quote, "On the other hand, it condones and supports the Taiwan independence, forces relying on the United States to seek independence, trying to cross China's red lines," end quote, he said. And I'm quoting again, "On the other hand, it tears away the pretense of fair competition and coerces other countries into unilateral protectionism against China. This perverse practices will only damage its own credibility, laying bare the fact that the United States has become the biggest destabilizing factor in the world." So Wang is on tour of Southeast Asia to buttress Chinese relations with Singapore as well as Cambodia and Malaysia amid a heated dispute with the Philippines over a contested coral reef in the South China Sea, and an increased effort by Washington to woo regional powers away from Beijing. A day prior, Wang met with a Singaporean counterpart, Vivian Balakrishnan, reaffirming the two nations', and I'm quoting, "mutual interest in furthering tourism and business flows and air connectivity between China and Singapore," end quote. Singapore and China are both part of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, a massive trade pact that recently took effect. Okay, so this is what he talks about the Americans. The rest with Singapore, former British colony, that's a different story. The problem is China calls the United States the biggest global destabilizer. Stabilizers. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I think that fits because in US's quest for helping everybody, they get involved in everybody's business and they bring freedom and democracy always. And if you look at the conflicts on this planet, you will almost always, if the country has resources, find United States' tail over there. Look around and you're going to find it in the Balkans, you're going to find it in Ukraine, you're going to find it in the Middle East, you're going to find it, I'm going to use Iran, I'm going to use Iraq, even Africa, even right now with Niger, you're going to find it in Korean Peninsula, you're going to find it in, Taipei, let's put it this way, Taiwan, and so on. You're going to find it everywhere. Why? Because they are appointed by all of us through a democratic vote as being the police person. Oh, because I don't know how the United States identify itself. I don't want to hurt its feelings. We appointed by vote to be the police person of this planet. And since it has the greatest, the highest ethical values compared with everybody by far, it should be that way. Well, you got it. I'm not saying China is, a saint whatsoever, and I'm not even discussing it from the extremes here. But still, actions, speak louder than words. The fact is, China is calling the United States as it calls. Biden today talked about China in one of his little campaign meetings, whatever he had with some donors. He said that China is led by some bad people. Imagine that. Remember the guy who barely knows what day of the week is, which I'm not certain he knows. He called Mohammed bin Salman a this and that. He called Putin a criminal. I mean, this guy is an idiot. Diplomacy? No, but I don't think. I think he's just, he lost it. He doesn't know the boundaries of decency and diplomacy. I mean, what do you want? He's 98%, he's already dead. So why would he care? I mean, his son is doing what he's doing, got the Secret Service protection and all that. These guys are covering for him. Once Biden, the big guy, dies, you'll see Hunter Biden in jail just like this. This is a forecast. Or a prediction. Until then, Biden still is around, so people, or maybe Biden will just go down, both Bidens will go down before the end of the term, or maybe he's going to be put on the dead line, going down, and you'll not be the candidate anymore. We'll find out. Either way, it doesn't really matter who's out there. It matters who the bureaucrats are in certain departments like intelligence community and the Pentagon. Those are the ones that really matter. Why? Because they got the guns and they can override anyone they want. Anyone. The judges, the media. If they want, in 5 hours, if they plan it, they can take over everything. Why? And they're going to give us a military democracy. Have you ever heard about it? I never heard of a military democracy, but it's going to be a first. We're always first. It's going to be a historic moment where when the United States comes out with courage and declares itself as being, I identify as a military democracy. I think it's already there, but they don't come and tell you. They didn't come out of a closet yet with the courage. They don't have the courage yet to identify as such. Garbage. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.